When it comes to hip-hop history, few artists have been judged as harshly as Vanilla Ice. His meteoric rise in 1990 with To the Extreme made him the first white rapper to dominate the mainstream, but it also made him the target of ridicule, backlash, and distrust. He became the poster child for commercial exploitation in rap, a symbol of what many thought was the industry watering down the culture for mass appeal. The weight of that perception never really left him, and when his second album Mind Blowin' dropped in 1994, it was largely ignored, dismissed, or mocked before it had a chance to be heard. But if we strip away the baggage and actually listen, a different picture emerges. Mind Blowin' is not a gimmick, nor is it a desperate attempt to recapture lightning in a bottle. It's a bold, authentic, and musically rich project that corrected nearly every flaw of his debut. It's an album where Vanilla Ice sharpened his craft, embraced harder production, showcased surprising versatility, and most importantly, spoke back to a culture that wanted him to vanish. Far from a misstep, Mind Blowin' is an underrated masterpiece, one of the most overlooked gems of its time.
Hey yo, check it, I think it's time to wreck it, so here I go again with the stuff, so let's test it. Cool like the
The biggest revelation of Mind Blowin' is how different it feels from Vanilla Ice's debut. To the Extreme was undeniably successful, but it leaned into pop rap formulas and danceable hooks that often made Ice sound more like a novelty than a serious artist. On Mind Blowin', that polish is stripped away. The production is grounded in boom bap, the rugged sample-heavy style that defined early 90s East Coast hip-hop. Funk and jazz elements weave their way into the soundscape, giving the record texture and rhythm without sacrificing grit.
Now everybody wants to have fame, but you're paying the price if you're not playing it by the game, 'cause this game is made.
Even the tracks that lean toward dance or party vibes feel more natural and refined, as though Ice had finally learned how to channel his charisma into music that held weight. This shift is crucial because it reveals something often forgotten. Vanilla Ice had talent. He could rap with precision, adapt his flow to different tempos, and ride a beat with confidence. When he wasn't buried beneath pop gimmicks, his skills came through. Mind Blowin' is the clearest example of that.
Get on down to the sound and a good rhyme with a song that should climb. Yo, straight to the top with a bullet on the
Lyrically, Mind Blowin' is defined by tension between confidence and vulnerability, bravado and tragedy. On one hand, Vanilla Ice spends much of the album defending his place in the rap game. He lashes out at rivals, critics, and detractors, proving that he was willing to fight back against those who tried to delegitimize him. He directly disses figures like Marky Mark, Third Base, MC Hammer, and Luke of 2 Live Crew, making it clear that he wasn't afraid to name names.
I put a crunch on Marky, take the funky out of his bunch. I hit the home run, you got the third base, I'm in first place.
These moments of lyrical defiance are some of the most exciting of his career. They show Ice at his most passionate, his most aggressive, and arguably his most authentic. On the other hand, there's an undercurrent of sadness that runs through the record. Many of Ice's boasts about success and longevity don't line up with the reality of his career. When he raps about conquering the charts and maintaining dominance, listeners today know it wasn't true. Mind Blowin' was a commercial flop and marked the beginning of his decline in the industry. That irony gives the album a bittersweet edge. It's the sound of an artist rapping with total conviction, trying to manifest a reality that was slipping further away. That duality, defiance in the face of collapse, makes the album not only compelling, but deeply human.
Suckers frontin' what you wantin' is for me to fade. Thought I was out of here, fools, I ain't going away. Back with the track that I keep up.
One of the strengths of Mind Blowin' is its musical variety. Ice doesn't lock himself into one mode. Instead, he moves fluidly between hardcore battle raps, upbeat party anthems, and smooth tracks aimed at the ladies. What's impressive is how cohesive it all feels. The boom bap heavy tracks showcase his technical chops, with aggressive flows that silence the notion he couldn't really rap. The party songs, instead of feeling like corny filler, carry genuine energy and creativity, proof that Ice could still bring fun to the table without sounding inauthentic. But perhaps the most surprising moments are the smoother, more sensual cuts. Tracks dedicated to women are executed with charm and polish, revealing a laid-back side of Ice that feels effortless.
Pulling in the shade, yeah, sipping on lemonade.
These songs highlight his versatility and prove he wasn't as one-dimensional as critics painted him to be. Another remarkable quality of Mind Blowing is how well it flows as an album. There are no glaring missteps or filler tracks that drag the project down. Even the interludes serve a purpose, giving the album a cinematic pacing that keeps listeners engaged. The sequencing is tight, moving from aggression to smoothness to celebration, with natural transitions. It feels like a fully realized vision, not a collection of random songs thrown together. And while it's easy to focus on Ice himself, the production deserves recognition. The beats are consistently excellent, with booming drums, catchy samples, and grooves that pull you in. The producers clearly understood the sound of the era, and Ice rose to the challenge, matching their work with some of the best performances of his career.
I draw my rhymes like a boat, shoot 'em out like an arrow, swooping on suckers like an eagle, not a sparrow. Get loose, Vanilla Ice is here with a juice, no use for stepping, so give the bass a boost.
So why was Mind Blowing dismissed? The answer has less to do with the album itself and more to do with the cultural climate surrounding Vanilla Ice. By 1994, he had become a punchline. Hip-hop purists resented his success as a white rapper, critics saw him as a manufactured star, and fans who once celebrated him had turned away. In that context, Mind Blowing didn't stand a chance. It wasn't evaluated on its merits, it was judged against Ice's reputation. That's what makes revisiting the album so rewarding. Stripped of the baggage, it becomes clear that Mind Blowing is not only a good album, it's a great one. It's the work of an artist who had something to prove, who took the backlash and channeled it into sharper flows, better production choices, and more refined songwriting. The tragedy is that few were willing to listen.
The president I get record cause it wasn't hip-hop pop, but this ain't a diss cause you sold goals till I made a killing.
Calling Mind Blowing a masterpiece isn't hyperbole. It's a recognition of what the album accomplished. It corrected the flaws of To the Extreme, delivering an authentic hip-hop record at a time when no one expected Vanilla Ice to make one. It showcased his versatility, his technical ability, and his resilience in the face of overwhelming doubt. It also captured a unique emotional space, blending confidence with vulnerability in a way that was rare for the genre at the time. Most importantly, it stands the test of time. Listening today, the production still knocks, the flows still impress, and the energy still feels alive. Unlike many albums from the early 90s, it doesn't sound dated, it sounds fresh, cohesive, and intentional.
Need a woman that's sexy, straight up and erotic. I gotta have her, yes, a beautiful sex goddess, the kind of...
Mind Blowing is more than just Vanilla Ice's second album. It's the defining statement of his artistry. It's proof that beneath the backlash and the caricature, he was capable of making serious, compelling hip-hop. The world may not have been ready to accept that truth in 1994, but nearly 3 decades later, it's easier to see clearly. Vanilla Ice's Mind Blowing isn't just underrated, it's a misunderstood masterpiece, one that deserves to be revisited, reevaluated, and respected for what it is. An incredible album from an artist who refused to be silenced.